Association. What do you see as ways to improve the relationship between labor and management in this particular situation? Do you have any ideas for that?
When you say this particular situation, are you talking about?
Between sheriff's leadership and the Deputy Sheriff's Association.
Okay. How can I have that conversation in about 2 or 3 minutes? Well, the perception is, or are of those particular individuals, is that they are, let's take the union slant. Okay, they're union hacks, and they don't want people disciplined, and every chance they're going to use every chance arbitration process to get out of it. That's one perception. The other perception, and I think it's truly their perception, is we don't mind the discipline. We don't like how it's being done. And let me give you an example. What's a very good example? And this was the current sheriff's first outing. He took the guy that exposed himself to the bruising. A guy like that should be fired. He's done something that shocks the public conscience. He's done something that you can't correct with discipline at the department. Okay? And so, what did he do? He fired him. But he fired him that day, well, in 3 days, but there was no problem. That's why he got his job back so easily, was to go to civil service and say, look, I was given no due process here. Gets his job back. Okay? Along the way here, you've seen the Deputy Sheriff's Office, or the Deputy Sheriff's Association, win these arbitrations time and time again, to the tune of $700,000 over the last 7 years of your money. $700,000 on claims by these fired employees, these terminated employees, some for good cause, maybe some not, but $700,000. Why, and the question you need to ask yourself is, why are chiefs of police and other sheriffs able to discipline and able to fire officers without those settlements? Why are we having that problem here in Spokane County? There is a common denominator, and it's my opponent. That's not to say that everybody should get a break. No, there are people that need to be fired. People who shock the public's conscience, where they hurt the public, those employees should be let go because they're probably involved in behavior that you can't correct. And discipline is there to correct the employee's behavior to make sure they don't do it again. You take a person who's got 15 to 20 years on the department, and in a period of a month or two, they have 3 jackpots that come up, and you think, ooh, something's going on in their life that needs to be fixed. And you're able to correct that behavior. I don't know that terminating them is the best thing to do, because we've spent all that money on their training. You've spent all that money on their training. And if we can correct it and it doesn't happen again, we've solved the problem. With the Deputy Sheriff's Association, I'll share this with you. And it underlines the how. I went to go meet with them, I want to say it was 2 weeks ago. I had my interview with them for the endorsement. And it was a 2-hour interview. And all the questions you'd expect. We got to the end, and they said, why do you want our endorsement? And I explained to them that I believe that labor was an asset, not a liability, but that the public needed to know that they had an advocate so that the union wasn't running away with things, but then the union needed to know that I was going to be fair and impartial. And they said, do you have any questions of us? And I said, yeah. Why would you take an interview with me? And one of them said, there are 2 candidates in this race, and you haven't lied to us yet. I didn't stick around to wheedle that down, but it's a strong statement. So, Paul.